What's up, guys? Sam here with Between the Bumpers. Still a little bit stuffy, but I wanted to talk to you about a few thoughts I had about travel and how your performance can be severely detrimented when you are traveling. So, there's a few things that come to mind for me. The first thing is when you spend a lot of time in a seated position, what happens is your glutes essentially shut off. So, what do I mean by that is basically when we're seated, our glutes are actually in a stretched position for an elongated period of time. And what that does is it shuts our butt off. If you've ever heard the idea that before you work out you shouldn't foam roll or you shouldn't actually sit in a stretch for too long, the reason is because that shuts down a muscle. Essentially what it does is it turns on the parasympathetic system or our rest and digest system. So again, when we are seated for a long time while driving in a car, it actually shuts our glutes off. So a great strategy I actually learned from Chris Schwartz, the head strength coach for the Ottawa Senators, which he used to do with his athletes, is whenever they stopped on a road trip, what they would actually do is have the players do a few glute activation exercises. Again, in the article below, I will have some attached ideas that you guys can follow, but essentially doing this wakes up the posterior chain and the glutes so that throughout the duration of your trip you're not effectively lengthening and deactivating these muscles. The second thing that we look at is our hip flexor. So to sit up tall when we are well seated, whether it's driving, whether it's flying, whatever it might be, we have to use that psoas or that hip flexor muscle to keep our spine upright. And what happens is that muscle actually stays activated for a couple hours when we're driving, and it gets very, very tight and bound up, which is going to block our ability to extend our hips. So what you can think about doing when you've essentially sat for a long period of time, again, whether it's for a gas break, to go to the bathroom, is do a couch stretch, a hip flexor stretch, anything you can to open up that anterior chain and stretch and loosen that hip flexor. Okay? The third thing I want to talk about is the hamstring. So, the glute, when we're seated for a long period of time during a commute, is going to lengthen and shut off. The hip flexor is going to overactivate and tighten. The hamstring's a little more complex because it crosses the knee joint and the hip joint. So it's a bit more sophisticated what happens to that. So you want to actually do a bit of both. So mobilizing the hamstring and activating the hamstring. So I've attached a video on the blog article that shows you how you can actually activate the hamstrings with a quick little activation / stretch series that you can use. Again, this is anytime you make a pit stop on your trip. Okay? The last tip that I have for you guys, number 4, is going to be waking your body up. So again, when you're seated, when you're driving for a long period of time, what's going to happen is your parasympathetic or your relaxation system is going to be the primary system activated. And say you are a sports team, you're going to regionals, whatever it might be, and you've been seated for 5, 6, 7, 8+ hours driving, and then the next day you want to get up and compete, what actually happens is that your body has a hard time waking up and activating because it's been stuck in that parasympathetic state. So, again, anytime that you stop on that road trip, take a few minutes to get your heart rate up. That could be a quick little workout where you do some air squats, some push-ups, something to bring up that heart rate and just activate that nervous system. Okay? So those are my 4 tips to help you improve your performance when it comes to spending a lot of time on the road, whether it's a road trip, whether it's your daily commute to work, whatever it might be. So just to remind you guys, activate the glutes, lengthen and stretch the hip flexor. Check out the hamstring activation and mobilization series and get a little bit of a workout to get your heart rate up. All right, guys, that's my quick 5-minute tip. Hope you guys enjoy it and keep on training between the bumpers.